State capitals are the central government of each U.S. state. It's where the governor, state assembly, and state governmental agencies are located. One would think that the largest city would be a state capital, and it is the case with some states, but 34 out of the 50 states have capitals that are not the largest city. Why is this the case? Let's find out. In U.S. states, capital cities are important. They represent the headquarters of the government. In these communities, the highest forms of state government are represented. This is important, especially in states with millions of residents. However, not all state capitals are in large metropolises. In fact, many of them are in modest-sized communities, and some would classify as small towns. Many would imagine that state capitals have to be large due to their importance. The largest state capital and the largest city in this state is Phoenix, Arizona, with a population of 1.6 million people. After Phoenix, Austin, Texas is second with 964,000 people, Columbus, Ohio is third with 892,000 people, fourth is Indianapolis with 867,000 people, and fifth is Denver with 716,000 people. Out of these top 5 cities, only Austin, Texas is not the largest city in its state. But the other 4 cities have reasons why they are selected capitals, and very small state capitals also share those reasons. In this week's episode, we are going to explore the reasons why many U.S. state capitals aren't the largest cities in their state. As you'll see, some of the reasons are physical, while others are economical, geopolitical, historical, and strategic. Before we start, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home, if you enjoy learning about geography and earth science. Let's get started. A variety of physical and human geographical factors play a role in a state capital location. Just like with all other important communities, an easy topography is key. By easy, this means a topography which isn't hard to build on. Many cities and towns are built in flat areas which are a lot simpler to build on than rugged terrain. Lots of other communities are built within areas that are basic and not complex geographically. Another physical reason is access to hydrological resources. Many cities and state capitals were built on rivers, lakes, and in coastal communities. This was especially important in the early 1800s when steamboats were a major form of travel. Today, the car is the main source of transportation, and many highways are built through state capitals. Another physical reason that blends into human geography is centralized locations. Indianapolis, one of the largest state capitals in terms of population, is centralized within Indiana, being conveniently located to all residents. But many small state capitals are centralized too. One is Frankfort, Kentucky, the 4th smallest state capital with a population around 29,000 people. In 1786, commissioners were to choose a suitable location for the future capital of Kentucky. The area that became Frankfort was chosen because of its centralized location, access to the Kentucky River, and its natural beauty. In 1792, when Kentucky became a state, Frankfort became its capital. A second small capital is Pierre, South Dakota, with a population around 21,000, making it the second smallest. In 1889, Pierre was selected as the capital of South Dakota because of the centralized location, access to transportation, and for geopolitical reasons. Pierre is an area of change within South Dakota, as residents living east of the community live in the more populated part of the state, while residents living west of the community live in the more sparsely populated area. The smallest state capital by a long shot is Montpelier, Vermont. Montpelier has just over 8,000 people, which will classify it as a small community in any state. One major reason why it is the capital is once again for its location. In Vermont, it's very centralized, being east of the largest city and metropolitan area of Burlington, north of the second largest community of Rutland, and southwest of the most rural part of the state, the Northeast Kingdom. Also, Interstate 89 and other state highways and U.S. highways run through the community. History also plays a role in Montpelier's capital status, as the community is one of the earlier areas of settlement within the state. And similarly to Pierre, South Dakota, Montpelier was a compromised location, as earlier Vermonters had disagreements on where the state capital should be located. And since Montpelier was centralized, it was the best choice. Besides central location, there are other reasons smaller cities within states are state capitals rather than larger cities. Tallahassee is the capital of Florida, the third largest state in terms of population. With nearly 200,000 residents, Tallahassee ranks 8th in population, a lot smaller than Jacksonville, Miami, and Tampa. Regarding its present day location, the city isn't centralized geographically or with population. A car ride from Tallahassee to Key West is 641 miles and takes nearly 10 hours. So why was it chosen? Similarly to other capitals mentioned before, Tallahassee was a compromised capital when Florida was a territory from the 1820s to the 1840s. At this time, St. Augustine, the oldest continuously settled European established settlement in the U.S., and Pensacola were both capitals of the territory, with St. Augustine being the capital of East Florida and Pensacola being the capital of West Florida. Transportation at this time was limited, and traveling between the two capitals was tedious. In 1823, both East and West Florida chose a compromised location on a former Indian settlement, which was seen to be a halfway point. A year later, in 1824, Tallahassee was established as a new capital and remains one today. Another reason why Tallahassee might have been chosen is for its inland location. Florida is no stranger to hurricanes, and both St. Augustine and Pensacola are coastal communities which are threatened from time to time. By Tallahassee being inland and away from the sea, it's better protected from the elements of weather-related events like hurricanes. Outside the contiguous United States, Juneau is another state capital which is unique and small. Juneau has a population of only around 32,000 people, making it the third smallest state capital. By far, the Anchorage City and metropolitan area is the largest in population, with nearly 400,000 residents. In 1881, gold was discovered in and around Juneau, making it a boomtown. Within a few years, it was Alaska's largest community, which is one of the reasons why it was selected as the capital of the Alaska Territory in 1906 and became the capital of the state of Alaska in 1959. Another reason why Juneau remains the capital is its physical location. Despite not being centralized or connected to other communities by roads, it is in the southeastern part of Alaska, which is closer to the continental United States. A network of waterways surrounds Juneau, and this also makes the community a major port, both for cargo transport and tourism such as cruise ships. Meteorologically, the community is a lot milder than the rest of Alaska due to its coastal location and marine west coast climate. Comparably, Juneau's daily mean temperature for January is 28.5 degrees, while Fairbanks in central Alaska and away from water has a daily mean January temperature of negative 8 degrees, 36 degrees colder. And lastly, Juneau has a very strong economy associated with diverse industries ranging from tourism to fishing. Other very notable small capitals in highly populated states include Albany, New York, Springfield, Illinois, Lansing, Michigan, Olympia, Washington, and Sacramento, California. The last one, Sacramento, isn't a small city, with 524,000 residents, but it's sixth behind Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose, San Francisco, and even Fresno. One reason Sacramento was chosen was for its geological setting. As California is a state known for earthquakes, the Sacramento area is less prone to seismic events as it's further away from major fault lines such as the San Andreas Fault. Another reason is associated with the 1849 gold rush, as Sacramento initially grew off that and was established as a city in 1850. This led to rapid early expansion and is one of the likely reasons of the city's capital status. And a final reason is political compromise. Before it became a capital, other considerations of a permanent capital city were put forward, including San Jose and Benicia, which were both capitals between 1849 and 1854. As you can see, there are many reasons why state capitals are not always the largest. Although large cities exert a lot of influence over local, regional, and even international affairs, small state capitals can be just as important. That's the end of today's episode. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so in the comment section below. Thank you so much again for watching this episode. Until next time!